Thank you for having me here. I want to take a quick minute just to introduce a couple of my buddies with me tonight. Of course, you met Sherman on the movie, He's the Bashful. Come on, Sherman, stand up and say hi real quick. We got Marvin. We call him Starting Marvin. He's starting to get out on the field, and he just wants that ball every time. He's got a great attitude. We got Wendell. He's my left-handed pitcher. And I can't remember this one's name because it's either Bobby Boucher or Bobby Licious. What do you go by today? Bobby Licious. Bobby. Now Bobby, Sherman, and Marvin were on that all-star team. They got picked and selected, and they had to write essay, and they were in a contest. We actually had one of our boys, win that contest. The last two I've been introduced to you are very special to me. We kept practicing and practicing, and they'd be off on the side. And finally, one of them said, "Well, I signed up to play." And I'm like, "Well, why aren't you out here?" And we never figured that out, but Andre, stand up real quick. Andre never played baseball before this year, and he learned what a double play is on the chalkboard yesterday because it was raining. And he's going to go turn one for the first time Monday. Yeah. And you guys that play that middle spot, you know how good that feels when you do that. That's awesome. So he's going to learn that. And his big brother, Andrew, stand up real quick. He's going to third base, and he's a wall over there. So, and they're and just to show you, Andre's my leadoff hitter. He's a natural hitter. So, just to say, if there's any 12 and under coaches in here tonight, you have to go through me to pick them up. So, time out of high school coaching, once we started the RBI League, I really felt led to be with them a lot. And they're from the Dream Center in North Tulsa, and I keep saying they're my therapy, and they don't know what that means, but they are. They make me laugh and smile, and you know, it's just amazing what comes out of their mouth sometimes, so it's pretty funny. But I want to let you know that my career in baseball was all I had. I basically grew up with a mom and a stepdad that were not there for me. Never really understood that. I know growing up I felt pretty much alone. I always thought people were talking about me, and you know, that I was just an outcast, kind of. And but all I had was baseball. And back when I played, we played just during the summer. So basically, it was a lonely life for me a lot of times growing up. And you know who was there for me every time? It was a coach, of course. And I've since found that coaches a lot of time come in contact. There's an outreach that tells people that a coach can come in contact in a lifetime of coaching with over 20,000 kids. And that made me think, wow, what an opportunity that as coaches we have in our everyday life to we can make a positive impression on that kid, or maybe not. So it's kind of how you set your mind and how you go out there and do your job. And I love coaching. I've been a very frustrated Christian, if you will, not knowing what God had me to do because I can't sing, I can't make a joyful noise at all. And so I grew up much of my life not knowing what I was supposed to do until one person at American Airlines said, "You're doing it, and it's baseball. You're doing it through kids." And God kind of started opening up my eyes to what I should be doing. Basically, the bottom line is all I had was baseball when I was growing up, like I mentioned, and I took God. I know all I had is baseball, and I know that's what I'm going to do. I know that's what you have in store for me. Well, that got cut short pretty fast, and not having a good role model in my later years, 16, 17, 18, my life was a complete mess. I don't mind telling you some of the bad stuff, but I smoked cigarettes during games. Not in high school, but after going and leaving college and playing, I would go, we all had cigarettes hid, or we drank beer. We did all the wrong things that would keep us playing baseball. we didn't take care of ourselves. We made all the wrong mistakes, and it was not just me, but a lot of the people I hung around with. So my life in baseball got cut really short, and it was my fault, but it was really God's plan, because I'm telling you, I didn't tell you the whole story. I kept praying every day, God, I want to be a big leaguer. That's all I have. That's the only time I feel good, is when people are cheering, when the other guys, pat me on the butt and I did a great hit. That was the only time in my life I really felt secure and I felt like I was somebody. But what I didn't tell you was my prayer was also a little whisper at the end, if I can, I want to help kids. I want to coach. I want to stay in baseball. Well, as I grew up and was playing baseball in Montana, I forgot that. And when I got cut, I came home and I was a very angry young man. And I was very frustrated. Couldn't even tell you who won the World Series for 2 or 3 years. I didn't watch baseball. I wasn't active in it. I was a very unhappy, angry person. And asked my mom. Very hard to get along with. But somehow I got out of that and I started going on, and it seemed like every 5 years getting a different job. I've had some great jobs, and one of them was at American Airlines. And I started that shortly after I married my wife, Barbara. And it seemed like that was going to be where I was going to retire. I was so proud when I walked through the doors the first day and the last day. That's a great place. But it wasn't for me. God had other intentions for me. I mean, he pretty much jerked the rug out from underneath me. And I remember going back to my desk and turning away from thinking, what do I need to be doing with my life? I got to run this airline. And I turned away. But it wasn't long after that. How would you like to go home and tell your wife you want to quit a good job? That's a scary thing. But Barbara, bless her heart, she said, I've been waiting for you to say that a long time. And we took a leap of faith, and God has blessed us time and time again. But I left American Airlines, and I started doing World Baseball Outreach full time. And all that was equipment. And we would take the stuff that you've given. A lot of you in this room, I know Tristan's given a lot of stuff. Thank you, Tristan. But there's been a lot of people in this area, Tulsa, Broken Arrow, Union School Districts, everywhere around here. You don't understand. You've supplied baseball equipment and softball equipment all around the world. Not people from anywhere else. I've received a couple of pallets from Florida or Tennessee, but 99% of the stuff comes from right here. And it goes to all places in South America, in Eastern Bloc countries, Thailand, the Philippines, everywhere. And it's amazing how many pictures we get back with just something you threw away and didn't feel it was going to be any good anymore. An old glove or an old pair of spikes, an old bat that's illegal now. Thank you very much for doing that. But I have some beautiful bats that you parents have bought that are illegal. I want to take this time to say it's worth it that you took that $400 and gave it to me in that bat. But it's amazing, all the equipment that we ship out constantly to places around the world. In 2006, when I left American, I was put on my heart to do baseball clinics. I wanted to be in front of the boys or the girls more and kind of maybe make a more impact on them than just, here, here's a glove, go get busy. The glove provided them a means to participate, but the bottom line is it wasn't enough. We started doing baseball clinics. At the Tulsa Boys Home was our first one in 2006, and man, it was unbelievable. My wife knows I'm uncomfortable in front of movie cameras. There were news stations, and she called Channel 6, and they were right there interviewing me, and I was a nervous wreck. That was my first time, but we made it through that, and since then, we started doing baseball and softball clinics around about a 5-state area, and we started going on mission trips, and which I'll get to a little bit more in a minute, but the clinics were awesome.